Good morning. Apologies for the delay. Some exciting news. My ORB book is pretty much ready for release. I've just been playing around trying to get it onto Amazon, just creating the front cover. So that will be live soon. It is literally 70-80 pages of all about the ORB, my strategy, execution, a little bit of risk management, and it's going to be first in a volume of books. I've got 4 or 5 volumes planned. This is the first one, volume 1, and it's a full basic executional series for the ORB. So I talk about the ORB every single day, and this book will literally be the manual. Anyone can take an ORB, but this gives you more context into it. So apologies for the delay. I've just been playing around with KDP and Google Documents trying to get all the settings right so I can upload it. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, that will be coming soon, so please be wary of that. And it's pretty decent. In fact, I read it yesterday, just did a final edit and read last night, and I was learning from it, stuff I've forgotten about, which I wrote a few months ago, and I'm relearning again. So it's good. It's a nice refresh, something to look at at least every few months. Anyway, I'm a little bit late, so I'm just going to go straight into it. Look at the news today. We do have some high volatility events coming in at 10 a.m, 9:45, 10 a.m, and 10:15. 10:15. We've got a smaller and 10:30 crude oil. So we do have some events coming in. We also have Trump speaking today at 3:15. So just be wary of that. Short day for me as well, because England are playing today, 5 p.m. here in the UK. I've got stuff to do before it starts, so I want to try and just get in and out in the next hour. Oh, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm really excited to get the book out soon. So I thought I'd just wear my England shirt today, get in the spirit of the knockout stages in the World Cup. So hopefully have a good day. I'm looking, it's a new month as well, 1st of July. This is the holiday period now, so things might start to get a bit quiet over the next few months. So let's just start off with the monthly time frame on ES, and we can work our way down. First thing that stands out is how overbought we are. We are pretty much overbought. Let me just reset my pen because it doesn't seem to want to work. 1 second. Got a button on my Stream Deck that turns it off and reloads it. So last month, officially a red candle, higher volume, but don't get too excited because it's a big topping tail and bottom tail candle. So that means buyers drove the price back up again after that was a big red candle. However, we're overbought. It's higher volume as well. We've got increase in volume on the green candles prior to that as well. When I start seeing bottom tails at a potential end of a trend, that to me is the first sign of weakness. So I'm not saying it's weak at the moment. Look at RSI here. When we were at RSI back in 2021 in that area, it took over a year for that RSI to break back down again. Again, we had a little bit of RSI at the end of 2024, and it took a few months for that RSI to reset, get back down into that 50% area. And then we had a bit of RSI increased volume as prices breaking out July or October last year as well. And then we had a little bit of a pullback in April, and RSI kind of reset. And now RSI is even stronger. It's higher now than it has been since the COVID, just about taken out. Yeah. Last time I saw RSI at this level was back in July 2022, when we started seeing that big bullish run here. And so it's interesting to see this. Look how extended we are, just as extended back in July 2021 than we are right now. You could probably argue, say we're even more extended right now. So are we going to get a pullback this year? I don't know. The first sign of weakness is a topping tail. Then we had increasing volume on these red days as well. We had average volumes on these wider range green bars, but look at the volume, compare that to the previous red. Red bars are relatively narrow range bars. We had 2 big wide range bars without the wide range volume to go with it. So that's the weakness I'm starting to see now on this monthly chart. Again, we had a red with a bottom tail candle as well, We're hitting that 30,000 there, a psychological area as well. Big fat round number. So maybe we're seeing some cracks, but again, the market's just going up. We can't say short now because we just don't know what's going to happen. But it's just good to look at the monthly. Last month was a weak month in my opinion. That was once a red candle. Now it's a bottom tail candle, still closed red. Dropping down to the daily or the weekly now. Again, we like to look at this at the start of the months. We've got price in a weekly range. Is that a head and shoulders pattern? Potentially. Look at the volume, decline in volume. RSI's up there as well. So where are the buyers now? There's no buyers showing up on this weekly chart. They're not putting in new major highs. Volume's declining. The red days, well, the red days are generally larger than the green days. Look at that narrow range bar, more volume than that previous wide range bar. And then we had another red bar, big wide range bar with a wider range candle. Bottom tail bar, so we know that was all red at one point with a higher volume than we had that pullback a few weeks ago. And then we had another red bar on higher volume than the previous green bar. Again, there's a few cracks here. We're not putting in new highs. The last few weeks, we're putting in this bit of a down. We're putting in lower highs, but we are holding at 29,000. So that is the line in the line in the sand we're waiting for. Are we going to come back down, bounce again, and then maybe put in another right shoulder, or are we going to lose that area and then pull back to that 50 moving average? Seems to be that's where home base is. If we do get down there, notice all these topping tails. That could be a reaction point, 25,000 to 26,000. Again, we're away from that. We're just focused on the next few days. There's not a great deal of volume above. A little bit of a volume shelf underneath. Let's just draw that in. Oh, look at that, 29,000. So that's an area to watch where we bounce every time. If we do lose that area, this is the big major volume shelf. The next major one, big area of confluence from the end of last year. So keep an eye on the weekly. Dropping down to the daily, we had this head and shoulders pattern setting up recently. We are on NASDAQ, by the way. Sorry, I'll go back to ES in a minute. That's fine, I'll stick with NASDAQ. I thought the patterns look a bit different because on ES it's more uniform and nice head and shoulders pattern. When I was looking at it a minute ago, I was thinking it doesn't look quite right, but maybe I was. But obviously that's what happens when you jump on straight at the end. But we are putting in a head and shoulders pattern on this NASDAQ, and I'm still happy with the head and shoulders pattern until we break that right shoulder. We are putting in a bit of a red move from the post market, and look where we're holding that 50 moving average. In fact, we don't do many NASDAQ analysis from the monthly down to the daily and hourly. So this is a good opportunity just to catch up on what's going on NASDAQ, as it's one of the major indices. So for me, we're holding that downtrend on NASDAQ. I did quite like the rejection around that area yesterday. And then we've got this 29,000. That's a key area to watch as well. So if we get back down to that 50 moving average, we can watch for a couple of areas. Notice to the left hand side, big volume shelf happens to be in that same area. So let's watch for a reaction down at 29. This is more of a swing play or maybe a long-term play in the next few days. And then let's see what happens. If we break over that 30,500, then we'll be breaking this downtrend. Let's go straight into the hourly and get some NASDAQ levels, and I'll go over to ES and do the same analysis. NASDAQ, this is that head and shoulders pattern we were just looking at on the daily. We've not taken out that shoulder high, but we are holding this trend line. So let's just draw that in. That is a line to keep an eye on. It's a level we've had on watch as well, volume shelf, pivot and confluence area along there, and that's 30,670. Look where we rejected yesterday, not too far from that area. So hourly levels today on NASDAQ. I like the break and retest below pre-market low, although we do have that 50 moving average. We've got 30,000 below as a target. Notice how we kind of came into that a few days ago, held it, we broke out yesterday, came back, retested 30,000 and bounced. Hopefully somebody took that, as it would have been a great long. We talked about it in the pre-market yesterday. So 30,000 is another reaction point to watch for. Big area of confidence. We've got a little bit of a volume shelf. Look at that confluence there as well. I really do like that area. If we can break over pre-market high, we're breaking the hourly downtrend. I like it long into yesterday's high. Massive volume shelf above, massive area of confluence. and I'm not surprised we didn't break through that yesterday. So 30,600 is on the cards again today for rejection, and that's all I'm watching for. ES next. Let's just go back to the monthly. I'll be very quick, we've got loads of time. Monthly is even just as extended like it is on the NASDAQ. I think we said yesterday it's around about 28%. That was about 28% as well, roughly. Last time we were that extended, we had this big RSI. This is July. This is COVID days. Notice we had small candles then, but we've got big moving candles with reducing volume. Bit different. And for me, that's a sign of weakness. RSI is up there. We haven't quite taken out the same RSI levels from July, going back to COVID like we have in NASDAQ. But we have put in another bottom tail candle at a potential end of a trend. Are we going to hit 8,000? Maybe. But again, first crack is that bottom tail candle. That was once a solid red candle last month. Also, reducing volume on increasing price is not a great sign. That's usually a sign of weakness, a first crack as well. Again, it's pretty strong. I'm not going to say go short now, but just be wary of that. Looking at confidence areas, we do have a little volume shelf smack bang below where we are right now. We could see a bounce in that area. The next big volume shelf is this big area confidence here. 7,000, big psychological number. So that's what I'll be watching for if we do sell off for potential bounce. Dropping down to the weekly, we can clearly see that head and shoulders pattern's got a better defined left shoulder head than NASDAQ. We're still holding that downtrend like we are on NASDAQ as well. We haven't been able to break that trend of the right shoulder to the head. So I still like this as a pattern, as a head and shoulders pattern. Notice that purple box around 7,400 coincides with a bit of volume shelf above as well. Keep an eye on that. That's where we're holding. If we lose that area, we can look for some downside movement. Little bit of a volume shelf there, but the big one is this big area of confidence around 7,000 and a big psychological number, and the point control runs through, and also the 50 moving average is getting into that area. So let's keep an eye on that area for potential target. I am actively looking for a short swing play right now, and we're holding that trend line there. Ideally, if we break that neckline, I'll be looking for it, but I like taking the right shoulder potentially that's happening right now. RSI, we were a little bit overbought. We're coming back up into that zone, so I'm not too worried about that. And volume, we can clearly see decline in volume as prices going sideways. Maybe this is just a resting period and we might just break back out again, but let's see what happens. While we're holding that right shoulder head downtrend, I do quite like rejections when we get near there, but I'll be watching it daily. We are smack bang inside a weekly range, makes it really tough to trade. These are the easy weeks. These are the tough weeks. Again, my ORB guide, I just talked about my strategy. I talk about classifying the environment, classifying the compression days where we're really inside, or the inside days where we're smack bang inside each day, the trending days, and also the ranging days as well. Let's just drop down to the daily. Gives us a better picture. You can see clearly that area of on watch, that big area there, 7,000 psychological number. You can see the neckline up there as well. We are holding that downtrend. We've got a volume shelf below, so that is immediately below around 7,430. So that's the area to watch. A little volume shelf as well, where we had that little confluence around 7,200. 7,150 is an area we know very well as well, because we were watching it at the tops of these candles when we started curving around. So keep an eye on that area again if we come back in. But 7,000 for me is on watch for potential bounce. I do quite like the rejection in this zone. I'm actively looking for a rejection around there. I like it curving around like this. Just want to see it take out those pivots and that neckline. Look at the volume as well. I will zoom in to make it even clearer. You can't deny the fact that we've got declining volume all the way from that shelf there. Declining volume when we had that head. So is that weakness? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could just put in another big push back up again. But declining volume, top and tail, bottom tail on the weekly and monthly. Higher red day volume than green day volumes, all points to a potential crack or a chink in the armor. and a head and shoulders pattern. You know, they're one of my favorite patterns to watch for as well. Let's get some levels now on the hourly. We've got 10 minutes, so I'm going to go through this pretty quick. We broke that right shoulder downtrend yesterday. We broke it, we came back, retested it a couple of days ago. I took a lovely long on that area. That's an area on watch. I had a losing day yesterday, even though my levels are spot on. I said anything over 7,500. My analysis was good. My execution wasn't that great. And look how it just went all the way up to, well, it went pretty decent yesterday. So obviously I'm going to keep an eye on similar areas. 7,500 again today. I'm watching this zone here for a bounce. We've got pivots to the left. We've got a little bit of a volume shelf. We've got a volume shelf from a few days ago on, what day was that? Friday, was it? Monday, I meant. So for me, anywhere down here, 7,490, 7,500 is going to be a bounce area for me, or a target if I'm short. We are smack bang inside yesterday's range. We are also putting in this little inverse head and shoulders pattern in yesterday's pre-market. So for me, if we get down to that area, pre-market low, I'm going to keep an eye on that for a potential bounce. If we lose that area, come back and retest 7,500, I'm looking for the short. So 7,500, 7,010 is that area, that line in the sand for me. If we lose it, I'm looking for shorts. If we hold it, I'm looking for longs. So I'm looking for buyers to come in on the volume. I want to see strong buying coming in. If I see weakness from buyers, then I'm looking at a short. We are still holding this 50 moving average as well, so just be wary of that. ORBs today, if we can break over pre-market high 75.40, I like it for a break and retest long. But prefer the break and retest long while we're inside yesterday's range as an extra confirmation. Again, I talk about this in the book as well, about extra confirmations and ads on the break and retest. So I'm quite excited to get that book out. We've got that area confidence as well. I marked it up yesterday, 75.42. Look, we rejected it exactly, then we bounced and we held it. I still quite like that area for a potential rejection. So pre-market high, 75.40 has got two plays for me. Break and retest long only, or rejection on that confidence zone. Not a massive bit of volume there, but there's a bit of a volume shelf above. If we were to sell off and we break through yesterday's range, then I'll be looking for a bounce down here at 74.50, this zone here. Look at that volume shelf. Look at all this confidence as well on this chart. Look a bit messy now, this chart. I need to start cleaning it up. But that is the area to watch. Let's get rid of that trend line. So I'll be watching for a bounce back down in this zone. Again, we are holding that trend line there. So I do quite like the rejection off of yesterday's high as well. If we get over yesterday's high, we're breaking that trend line. I'll be looking for longs to the next level, 7,600. So pretty simple. There is a volume shelf as well. That's why I got that level marked up, 7,600, and a pivot. Last time we got to that 7,600, we had this big reaction, big rejection. Let's see what happens when we get back up there again. Otherwise, I'm looking for the break of this trend line, break of yesterday's low, break of pre-market low into that 7,500 area, and then that's where I'll be watching for a potential bounce. And we've got this triple volume shelf there. SPY next, pretty much the same. We've got this rogue print here. Remember that came in on Friday or Monday, whenever it was, and it just came out of the blue. So SPY, break over yesterday's high long. Keep an eye on these areas of confidence, big volume shelf and a volume void. If we lose pre-market low, I like it short. It's an inside day, so it's going to be a tough trading day. We're smack bang inside yesterday's range. There's not a great deal of volume in yesterday's range where we are right now. But look where all the volume is on this range at the top end. So let's keep an eye on yesterday's high, potential rejection area. SPX next. We were holding that 75.10. Big area we had marked up as well. Look where we got to yesterday. Came straight into it. That's why I like using SPX as confidence, or sorry, as another confirmation. If we lose yesterday's low, keep an eye on the break and retest short. That will give us confirmation for ES or NASDAQ as well. We are holding that trend line. We've broken that trend line as well. If we come back down to that 73, watch that, or 74, watching that area for potential reaction and a bounce. We've done NASDAQ, QQQ. Pretty much the same as all the others. It's not very exciting at the moment, but we've got our trend line. That's our trend line there. If we lose pre-market low, I like it short. Keep an eye on 700 to 708. Massive big double volume shelf there. Point control runs through at 709. So that's our bounce area. Orb for me looks good below yesterday's low, pre-market low, or over pre-market high to fill that little gap. Next up is oil. Red today, it's been green for a few days. We are still in that downtrend. We're not able to get over these pivots as well. 70 is that, I'll call it a line in the sand again. I use that a few times. Keep an eye on 70 for the rejection. Otherwise, if we lose pre-market low, let's look for trend continuation back down. If we do see a bit of a resurgence, we've got oil news today, don't forget, at 10:30. Let's look for a break over yesterday's high. We'll be breaking that trend line effectively. Maybe we're putting in a bit of a bottom. Is that a left shoulder? Is that a head? Are we going to put in a right shoulder? And that's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Keep an eye on that long into 77. Gold is green on the day. It's a bit of a mixed board at the moment, red and green. Gold is still looking weak though. For me, I like trend continuation. If we break that 4,000, we've held it now for about 4 or 5 days. Under 4,000 for the short. Make sure we've got bottom selling pressure. We don't want to be buying, going short with buyers coming in and pushing it back out like they have done. We've got a trend line as well. If we break yesterday's high, look for a break and retest long. There's a volume shelf around that 7,200 area. Sorry, 4,200 area. And we've got a major point of control at 4,400, 4,350 area. Keep an eye on them for reaction areas. 4 minutes till the market opens. RTY is still looking good for a breakout. Look at this, it's tightening, it's tightening, it's been tightening now for a few days. Really tough to trade while it's in that zone, but it's compressing, it's compressing, it's compressing. And it's a bit like a spring. You wind it, you wind it, and wind it. And then something's going to break. It's either going to break up or it's going to break down. So that gives us the areas to watch. Let's draw in the trend line so we know exactly the areas to watch as well. So that's our trend line roughly. You could also hold at 3,400. 3,000 psychological number. If we get back down to there, I like it for a bounce. Keep an eye on a break and retest of yesterday's low, pre-market low. Keep an eye on a breakout over yesterday's high. Look, we almost broke out yesterday and then rejected. So keep an eye on 3,050 with long. Again, we are compressing, so we are expecting a bit of a reaction soon. YM, holding that trend line. Look at this for a trend line. We're holding it, and we held it again yesterday and in the post-market and pre-market. If we lose pre-market low, under 52,400, looking for a break and retest short. Look for a long over pre-market high, which will be over 52,600. And then we've got that 52,800 yesterday's high, break and retest long. Still looking good for long. We're not seeing any cracks just here yet. So maybe we might see it continue. And then finally, Bitcoin. Talked about this yesterday. I said we're in that 365-day cycle of selling off. We're about halfway through that. Potential movement. We've still got a bit of movement to the downside if we're going to continue that cycle. It's 1,000 days on and 365 days off. And if we do, we can be targeting 35,000, 40,000 area. We're away from that, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Big psychological number below 50,000. We're sitting at a psychological number of 60,000. If we retest 60, I like it for the short. Otherwise, look for a break and retest under pre-market low. And that is around 58,000 to 58,400. We're smack bang inside yesterday's range right now. We attempted to break the low. Buyers brought it back up again. So obviously somebody's watching that 58. If we get over yesterday's high, keep an eye on a break and retest long into 60,000. We tried to get over 60 but failed, and we're back down again. I've lost my volume. And that's pretty much it really. This looks pretty weak, so for me I like the rejection at 60,000. So that's the area I'll be looking for a short. I have slowly grown, adding back into my Bitcoin. Once we start breaking trend lines like this, I'll add a little bit more heavily. But at the moment I'm just adding every week. Not much, but as soon as I start breaking and retesting trend lines, I'll be looking to add back in a bit more. And I think that's it. So good morning to everyone. Good morning to Ron. Good morning to Craig and anyone else who's here. That's the market recapped pretty much. if you missed the at the start, I was just talking about my new book I've got coming out. I've just finished all the editing yesterday. This is the cover. I'm just adding now. ORB playbook. It's the first of 4 volumes. There might be a 5th or 6th one, but this is like 80 pages, all about the orb, all the execution. It's basically a blueprint or a manual. Market's about to open. Market has just opened actually. Let's put my ORB buttons on. And let's see where we're going. We've got Delta Divergence coming in. Price is selling, Delta's buying. So you can see clearly that divergence, lower low, lower high on the price, higher highs and higher lows on the Delta. So potentially looking for a break of this Delta, break of this 2-minute chart with a big push on green. So that's potential bounce area. We go back to my levels again. That will hopefully get us over a pre-market high. That'll be the break and retest long we're looking for. Smack bang inside the range, so I'm not going to be too excited on any plays today. And as soon as I say that, price sells off. Look at the Delta, it's just holding. I've not actually updated my Discord yet. Let me just do that now. I'll keep an eye on price. Don't forget news today, high volatility news at 10 AM PMI. I'll be there in a second. Right, that's my levels in. Oh, it looks like my chart's out by a bit. I was meaning to restart my PC. 9:35. 9:32. I got 9:31 on here. So one of my jobs in the next few weeks is to do a complete reinstall my PC and separate my trading PC. Because I've been editing stuff and videos today. I think my PC processor's kind of, there's a lot going on in the background. I need to start closing things down. It's 31.51 and we're on 33. So I do apologise. I'm going to just quickly restart my machine because I'm not going to trade while it's like this. We are selling off at the moment, so coming into Britain, there's nothing to trade while it's like this anyway. I'm going to restart my machine. We are selling off into that pre-market low area. Keep an eye on that area for a potential break and retest and also a bounce. So I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm back. Apologies for that. I'm just waiting for my NinjaTrader to kick in on my stream deck so I can put my passwords in. So pre-market low break and retest could be on right now, only by looking at the hourly chart. Let's have a quick look. Are we going to close on that hourly below the 50 moving average? That's the question. Big solid red 5-minute candle. That's a massive 5-minute candle. Still waiting for my NinjaTrader load. Took long enough. There you go. Seeing a bit of a bounce at its pre-market low area. That was that confidence area we talked about as well. Move that out. Right, so my chart's now loading. See where we are. It's better. Back in real time. So NASDAQ is coming into yesterday's low, not quite there yet. ES bouncing at pre-market low. It's going to be a big wide range 5-minute candle, 15-minute all, by the way. Which is not far off the range of yesterday. Here we go. So got some data now. So we're looking for potential weakness here at the pre-market low break and retest area. See, there's definitely something going on with Arithmetic because I've just reloaded, nothing on my platform at all. And my clock, my PC clock says 2:40, but the time is out by 15 seconds still. So that's not good, is it? It's got to be something to do with Arithmetic because my PC is pretty much, what's my trader rate doing? Trader rate's spot on. See if it catches up. Definitely time for a reinstall. Hasn't been done for a year. One says, go England, go USA. Yeah, exactly. Let's hopefully get some good results. Here you go. I reckon there's something going on in the background. My drivers are updating. My graphics just updated as well. So pretty much at real time now, so it's just caught up. I reckon there's still stuff loading in the back when I rebooted. I was kind of turned everything on at the same time. So Delta wise, we had that divergence earlier, we talked about it, and then we saw it sold off. Big sell off, wasn't any buyers coming in. Sellers absorbed all that buying pressure. Now we've got buyers coming in. There's a slight divergence. Nothing much. There's nothing for me at the moment. I'm not worried about taking any trades while we're sitting inside this range. 212 says violent take this morning. Be careful. I agree. Yeah, just be wary. Big 5-minute range. At one candle. Oh no, we've got a second candle slightly lower. We might have our orb set. 34. Almost a 30-point range. And that's not even, if you're risking $100, that's not even half. That's like half, not even one contract. So this is our control bar, the 5-minute control bar. Maybe, as we are always adapting our strategy based on what the market does, we can look for a reaction in this 75.25 area. Look for a rejection up here. You can see limit orders coming in. Big orders sitting at 25 and 24, 25 and 40. So we know there's orders sitting up here. So someone else is thinking the same as us. Top and tail in that big rejection candle. Gold is on fire right now. Bitcoin, a little bit of a resurgence. Big top and tail on Russell. Indecision candle, 50-minute indecision candle on the Dow Jones. SPX opened on a gap down, and it's just literally touched yesterday's ORB high. So let's see whether we can see a short in this region. Look around 20 to 25. We're not getting any follow through from the buyers. Lack of sellers here. Lack of buyers, lack of buyers. Small deltas. There's nothing really. Hourly sitting on the 50 moving average. 15 sitting on the 200 moving average. 212 says gold is rallying. It is big green bar. So this looks like a short here. We're breaking. I'm going to try a short, just a very quick short. I'm going to risk. Okay, there you go. And out, instantly out. Aggressive sellers came in then. Buyers just bought up. Look at that lack of volume as well. Or lack of delta. And the buyers still took it out. I'm looking at this short here. Lots of aggressive selling coming in. There was hardly any buyers on the tape here. And then boom, buyers came in. So maybe that's a warning sign. That's probably the quickest trade I've been out of. In and out. Literally instant reaction. At the midpoint now. So the orb is in place, by the way. The low is 75.06. The high is 75.33. We've got a big news event coming in at 10 AM, so just be aware of that. 15 minutes. Craig says down 12 points on the day, only going to take one more trade. Yeah, just be wary. It's not very nice price action. I did like the short here because we had declining volume on the pullback on the 5 minute. We had aggressive sellers coming in. 2 minute broke the trend as well, and it looked good for a short. So I think my entry is okay. Just the market had other plans. We had lack of buyers as well on the ask. So here, lack of buyers on the ask. Negative delta, small positive deltas. So again, I like the short here. I'm going to try it again. Wait on the first green bar. On the break of this green bar now. Short, I'm already getting on a red bar. Although we do have a positive delta buying imbalances, so that's why we don't jump in. %50 of this, we're probably coming into that 50% mark of this candle as well, the 618 on the fibs. So if I've got buyers coming in, look at the sellers absorbing all this buying pressure up here. Green buying candle as well. Just going to sit back, I think. I do like seeing this pullback on reducing volume. So it looks good for a short on the 5 minute. That might set up the ORB breakdown if that's the case, or add continuation to it. Just sit back, be patient, and wait for the entry. Red candle, buying delta. Lack of buyers on this next candle on the breakout, so this is showing a bit of weakness here. So again, waiting for the entry, looking for lack of buyers, which is probably now. I'm going to try another short here. Lack of buyers. Look at this big negative delta. And as I say, that buyer's coming in. Come on in, sellers. Let's sell it off then. This is the move. We've broken that. Here we go. Hopefully that's a 10. Getting close to 10. No. This is a hard market right now. Look at this, an order flow. Small positive delta on that last candle, so it still looks good for the short. Negative delta coming in as well. This is hard, it's just not getting the follow through. Still got negative deltas, so I still like the short. These are probably days when you want slightly wider stops. Let's see whether we just get a bit of a sell. We just need 10 ticks down. Got the aggressive sellers coming. I see the sellers. Lack of buyers here as well. Selling imbalances on this candle as well. Buyers are just holding this area. And that's it, I'm out. I'm probably not going to go through the pain of stopping out. I'm going to stop out early. There you go, I'm out early. Yep, I'm sitting back now. I just can't read the market. News in 9 minutes, don't forget. Again, was that a bad entry? Not really. We had a lack of buyers. We got only selling imbalance. We had some buyers coming there with no follow through. And then we had some buying imbalances, and then my entry was basically on the breakdown. So you have buyers at the high. And we only had negative deltas as well, small aggressive deltas as well, buying deltas, and then the buyers just came back again. It's chop city at the moment. It is an inside day, don't forget, we just say it's extra hard. And look at the volume on the 5 minute, decline in volume as price is increasing. So I had about 4 or 5 different confirmations on that trade. Still wasn't to be. What's NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ's pretty much back at the day's high. How are we looking on ES? Right back inside that yesterday's range as well. Look at this big wide range candle, lack of volume. So there's no volume driving this up. We've got some big deltas coming in. So we've got aggressive buyers. Could also mean that there's lack of sellers in that candle, which we can see from here. Buyers only, lack of sellers. So we're coming into that section, that 75.42, so I'm watching for rejection. This area up here, we rejected nicely in the pre-market. Maybe we should have gone with the first touch of it. $75.10. Let's have a look at $75.10 again, because we were watching for the first. $75.10 bounce at pre-market low. Here we go, $75.10. If we took the first, let me just zoom in. One of my strategies is to take the reversal of the first. $75.10 here, that's pre-market low. Wait for the first pullback. Here we go, and we could have gone long, and that would have worked. Here, our stop would have been there. We would never stopped out on that one, and it would have just broke out. So that's that strategy confirmed today. Um, 212 says I'm not looking at shorts at all, even though we opened bearish. I wanted a bit lower to get long on the turn at 75.10 and 75.20. Yeah, I was watching 7500, that area, for a bounce, and it never happened. But we got close. So 70 within 5 ticks, within 5 points. That's probably close enough. Again, playing zones, not lines. So maybe I was a bit naive. Trying to get my short in to 75.10. Or 7500, I meant. I was basically watching the lows of yesterday. Look at this, a line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row. So we know where all the volume is up here. We very rarely see this. Normally 2 or 3. So there's a big amount of volume, 75.31. We know there's buying and selling going on in that area. Only 3 aggressive buyers at the high of on the arse there. We've got lots of buyers and sellers up here, so it's a tough area. Whether this is a short area or a long area, it looks like it might be looking like a short area. Couldn't quite break out over that 5-minute control bar. We've got news, don't forget, in 4 minutes to 3 minutes, and that's PMI. But we're holding that resistance. And remember, I like watching it break and hold and retest it. Look how it retested it and rejected it. 75.30. Big volume shaft to the left as well. Big area of confidence as well. On the 15 and on the hourly. So it's an area to watch. Gold is looking bullish. Dow Jones is. RTY is. Bitcoin is putting in a big green bar as well. Looking good for a long. Oil's just sitting there pretty neutral. SPX is pretty neutral. This is interesting. We've got 9 buyers, 3 buyers. Here we go, taking out the 3, taking out the 9. Aggressive buyers coming in as well. Get the opening range high now. Look at this volume on the 5-minute. We've got increase in price, decrease in volume. To me, that's a hard long, that is. You know, where the market goes, it could just grind up, but for me, that's not a long. That's one of my confirmations. Increase in volume. That's basically decrease in volume on a pullback. That is, to me, looks short. So I won't be taking longs. I won't be taking shorts as well. I'll probably just sit out. Big aggressive buyers coming in now, just before the news. Interested in that. You know, do they know something we don't? Here we go, news candle. ORB didn't even break, didn't even validate the ORB as well. Reduced volume on that ORB, so definitely not a long. Positive delta on a red candle, negative delta, first signs of weakness. Well, I'm saying apart from the decrease in volume. Pre-market high above. Here we go. Negative delta. I'm interested in a short around here. I'm going to try a short on the break of that red candle. Oh, what count was that? That's one of my evals. There you go. That's the first one. I think I might have hit one of my limits. What I find really annoying, so I just hit my 10 ticks. We're going to get that short. I'm going to tighten up my stop to the high of the day. Small positive delta. Right. I'm going to break down here. Nice quick easy 10 ticks that was. Here we go. Bit of weakness now coming in. So we can get down to that 20 tick mark. Need a bit of a pullback. Are we just going to see buyers sit here again? Let's just watch. Buying imbalances on this current candle. Not much, only plus 34. So small positive delta on this one. I want to see the sellers come in. Not really interested if it breaks that pivot high, that red pivot there. Here we go. Just did the same trade on NASDAQ as well. Hopefully that works out. Got a bit more space on NASDAQ. Big positive delta coming in. So here we go again. So this is going to be a, and then the sellers coming back. I'm just going to hold for this candle, see what happens. I think one of my Apex accounts hit its daily risk. Can't remember which one it was. Look at that. So not much from that news event. Didn't have much of a breakout as well on the orb. A little bit of volume, not the massive amount. But I'm not a big fan of this trade now. I'm going to close it early. Again, get out before. Only because we've got buyers coming back. It's a tough market. So that's me done for the day, I think. Really hard trying to find any trades when it's like this. Look at this decrease in volume. We had sellers came in, which pushed that volume bar up, and then buyers are still taking it. There you go. So got out early. So a small loss on that. I got my 10 tick. That was a quick, easy 10 tick. Just couldn't get down to that 20 tick on my break even. It's been a tough week this week. But there's one thing I can't do is go long on reducing volume. That just shows weakness. just grinds up, especially into that big red bar. I got out of my NASDAQ break even as well. Definitely the buyers are here. Got some volume coming in. So NASDAQ is showing slightly relative weakness to ES right now. It's rejected the VWAP, 30,300. ES 75.43, 42. That's the area I said to keep an eye on for a reaction. Right at this point is where we were yesterday. Saw a nice short for this area yesterday. Look at all that buying and selling in that last candle. 5,000 contracts in that last candle. That's a lot of contracts. Don't get that many often. Very neutral as well. It's only out of those 5,000, it's just 298 more aggressive buyers and sellers. Just grinding up. So not a very eventful day. Delta's looking strong at the moment still. We've taken out that 30-40 area. That's that rejection, so keep an eye on that 24, 25. Has a small reaction to it, not much. Lots of aggressive buying on NASDAQ at the moment. No divergence, price and Delta in the same direction. First Delta flip for ages. Still relative low volume as well on these green candles. Well, that line point control we were watching was actually the support. We broke it, retested it on the next candle, next two, probably 3 candles, and then it broke out. Pre-market high, 75.40, break and retest, 75.40. We've broken it here. So this could be a long play right now. Break and retest of pre-market high. I might try my red bar strategy, long on a break of the red bar. Here we go. I'm going to go long here. So first pullback after a significant level. See whether that does anything. Seems to have more support from buyers, so we're going with the trend, with this 5-minute trend. Big aggressive buyers coming in, so that's 10 ticks. I'm going to get break even as quickly as possible on this. So I'm just at break even, just below, so I'm not going to be bringing a green trade into a red trade. I already had 2 losing trades in a row, so I'm not going to have any more. Looking good for the long. That's that strategy working again. It's one I've been watching and playing with for the last few weeks. So this is a winning trade, whatever happens, because I'm break even. I've been trying to find trades where it's ranging or doing something rubbish like this, and where we can just find a quick scalp, and this seems to be the one. Break of a significant level or rejection significant level. The first pullback, take the long of that or the short of that. And this is about to hit my 20 ticks, hopefully. There you go, 20 ticks. Relatively easy trade that was. Maybe I should be more patient earlier. I just let it run. I'm gonna work on my runner. That's one of my goals, remember? Work on a runner. I've not loaded up my Evo account yet. Not my TradeZella account yet. Even as wins, I'm still a bit down. Big positive delta. S&P is about to gap fill, if it hasn't already. Very close. Oil news, don't forget, coming up in 15 minutes if you're in oil. Bitcoin's on fire right now. Breaking out over, just breaking 60,000. Couple nice green. Russell's on fire. Dow Jones is on fire. Gold's on fire. ES looks like it's on fire. NASDAQ not quite, showing relative weakness. Not able to break out over that pre-market high where we've got one truly over pre-market high here. Oh, look at this trade, it's still going okay. Negative delta, green on a green candle with no follow through. So I can move my stop now to just below that pivot. Again, not a big fan of this decrease in volume here. And then we've got slightly increased volume on the breaking out candles. Indecision, the breakout candle is slightly, this candle is slightly more volume, not much more volume, just grinding volume. So I'm better than break even on this trade now, holding that pullback pivot. Big orders at 75, 54 and 55 above and 60. So potential, and that's where my 8R target is. I'll probably trade it if it gets near there. Less than 2 hours before England plays their World Cup game. Quite exciting. Looking forward to that. Against Congo. Good morning, Sonny. Welcome back. Looks like a little head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder potentially. Got positive deltas on these red candles as well. Bit of a divergence in delta and price. $75.60 above. Don't forget, I've got a big orders sitting there. 60, 55. So potentially market moves towards liquidity. Not today for me because I've just been stopped out better than break even. 75.25 below is our next liquidity. Here we go, price and delta's kind of flipping at the moment as well. And that's that head and shoulders pattern I just said. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This is a neckline where we are at 75.48. And so anyway, that's one winning trade, two losing trades. I'm pretty much done now. I'm not sure what my P&L is. I don't really look at it. It's not great. Because I'm scalping, my losers are generally slightly bigger than my winners, only because my scalping is generally pretty successful. It's been hard this week. Two losing days is a losing day for me. I'm just trying to find my P&L. On my paid account, I'm down about $100 on my other paid account. 100 and 300 on my two paid accounts, and I'm down about $1,000 on one of my evals. And 800 another eval. Not great. Tough day, really tough day. My Top Step account, I've forgotten about that one. A little bit better, worse than break even, so slightly red on that as well. That's usually a good sign. That's usually a sign to stop trading. I've taken 3 trades today. Anyone taking any trades? Sonny says, took 3 trades, 2 winners, 1 loser. Good job. Craig took 1 trade and done. Good for you as well. That's the way forward. Definitely. So you can see the delta bars now thinning out. Means we're getting less and less aggressive buyers or sellers coming in now. You can see that on the 2 minute as well. 2 minute bars are quite thin. Delta bars are quite thin. Still getting pretty much quite a lot of volume up here on these contracts. 2,400, 4,300, 3,000, 3,000, 4,300. Here we go. Remember I said I need to help work on my runners? I went against my plan already. I trailed out. As I held my runner, I'll still be in this trade. So it's time for me to journal later. Went against my plan. Remember I said new month, I'm going to work on my runner. I went back into my old ways. It's the runners which make the money. They're the ones that really make the money. They're the ones you need to focus on and hold. Bitcoin's on fire right now. Let's just reduce some of my startup apps as well. Got lots coming on. And here we are, breaking back out, new high of the day. Big positive delta there. Look at that, massive aggressive buyers coming. 6,000 contracts, a sixth of them were all aggressive buyers. 1,000 more aggressive buyers and sellers. There's a delta divergence between ES and NASDAQ. NASDAQ is showing aggressive selling. ES is showing aggressive buyers right now. It's not very exciting, is it? So all that post-market sell-off has kind of come all the way back now. Even the ORB wasn't a valid ORB breakout, so there's hardly any decent patterns today. Decrease in volume, price increasing, still decreasing now. ORB didn't trigger. Did it trigger on NASDAQ? Nope, it's not triggered on any. NASDAQ has even worse volume. Massive negative delta coming in this last candle here. Lack of buyers at the high here. Positive delta, red candle, no follow through. Green candle, big negative delta. So we should be getting some negative follow through from that last candle. Lack of buyers. If not, then buyers are definitely absorbing all of this area. When you see big negative delta, delta flip as well, lack of buyers at the high, in previous two candles, and you don't get the follow through, then there's something not quite right. And then you look at the 5-minute chart, you see decreasing real low volume candles as well. And there you go. So lots of aggressive sellers here. Buyers just absorbed all of this area. So there's definitely some big sellers sitting here trying to sell, but the buyers are not letting them. But there's not much volume on that anyway. Could be lowering volume because of the holiday on Friday, which means the market can move bigger moves with less volume because it's just not the liquidity. Oh, excuse me. Can't contain my excitement. So Sunny says, "Hey Paul, what are those tags on the top and bottom of those two candles? The tags? Do you mean the up and down arrows? These arrows there, the green arrows and the red arrows." 212 says they are really trying to sell 75.50. Yeah, it looks like a sticking point in that area. But anyway, the tags are beside the rectangle box. Okay, so that's telling me there's a delta flip. So it says sellers take control with a 70% probability or 70% confidence rate. So it means we had buyers coming into that area, then sellers take control. Lack of buyers at the high, lack of buyers coming into that candle as well, and a big negative delta. But it's only giving it a 70% probability or 70% confidence. So potentially it's not. If you see once this sellers take control 100, that's got a higher probability. Down here, buyers take control 95. We had lack of sellers, loads of buyers came in, sellers came in, sellers, suddenly a buying delta and buyers taking control. That had a higher probability of buyers taking control, and that's exactly what happened. So that worked out. This one's saying it's only a 70% probability that there is, or it's not really probability, 70%. I think I said it earlier. It doesn't think it's a big selling divergence, basically selling delta flip. And we can see that now on the next candles, it's just going sideways. So again, that was spot on. So these are what I look for. If I see a delta flip, it's just another confirmation signal. And I generally don't look at them unless I'm looking at previous day levels, like pre-market high, pre-market low, and it just lets me know swing lows as well. So we've got buyer delta flip here. We've got negative delta coming in and buyers take control. Doesn't mean you buy, but that's an 85% probability that it's going to work or it's going to be okay. And then it did put in a new low and it put in a new high, and you can see straight away buyers took control. So it's pretty accurate indicator. Works pretty well, as you can see. Here it looks like a Christmas tree lights, barcoding, doing nothing. Green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Lack of buyers at the higher 13 and 10, 0 on this candle. We could take a quick scalp here. Remember we say wait for the first green pullback. What level was this? 75.50. We're right at a level we're watching, 75.47, 50, 42, that area where we had that big reaction yesterday. So delta's breaking down, price is breaking down. Here you go, this is a pullback, negative delta. Ideally a lower volume candle would be better. And Nasdaq selling off as well. So these delta flip signals just gives you a early warning that there's a potential reversal happening or about to happen. Hope that makes sense. So it says thanks, you're welcome. Yeah. So is it negative delta green candle? This is a candidate for a reversal if we break down below 75.45. Lack of buyers, lack of buyers, lack of buyers. We could find a little short here on a sell setup. I'm going to try it. Just a quick scalp into 10 ticks and then get to break even. I'm already tightening up now. You're going to hit that 10. I'm going to get to break even as quickly as I can. I'm not going to hold around. I'm just risking 10 ticks here. And there you go, lack of follow through. See the sellers. And I'm getting out. Don't like it. Aggressive buyers came in there. Probably going to go. I got out around about my break even. Didn't have the follow through we wanted, so I just got out. NASDAQ breaking down a bit. Lots of buying selling that candle. So still lack of buyers. I like this. It's probably, maybe I should have stayed in it. NASDAQ's retesting pre-market high. Might try another little scalp short. I do like the weakness I'm seeing. Broken that area, little head and shoulders pattern there. Big negative deltas. Or just not do anything. Right back at that area yesterday, we had that nice big reaction. I can see NASDAQ hitting today's low again, heading back down to 30,000. Showing more relative weakness than ES right now. Look at that, the first red candle, and we had a bigger candle than the green candles. So we knew there were sellers up there, we could see it selling. We were watching the large orders as well. You could say that delta flip was right as well. You look at NASDAQ, it kind of held. If you draw the trend line from yesterday's high down, it's kind of holding that trend line. Pretty much smack bang on it. Well, it's exciting. The lineups are available for the England-Congo game. So what's that? Kicks off pretty soon. Saka not starting. Exciting, I'm going to be watching that game, can't wait. So look at this order flow. My out was probably okay. Buyers coming back in around this area. You can see that as well. I'm probably going to be calling it a day soon. Here's another Delta flip candle. Basically, we had lots of buyers coming in. Big negative Delta on that candle. I wouldn't take this because it's not at a level I was watching. But it just draws your attention that there's running out of buyers on this last candle, but it could just be a low volume candle pullback. Look at that. As much as they take, they give back. And look at the size of the candle as well compared to the previous candle. Half the volume, same size candle. So there's not much volume driving the green candles up. It takes a lot of volume to bring the red candles down. If you look at the 15-minute, that's a bottom tail candle at an end of a trend. It shows a sign of weakness there. One of the first signs of weakness. You know, that was all red, that candle at one point. You know, the sellers sitting there somewhere. Coming back into that selling area as well. 53, 50, 51, 50 area. And is that a left shoulder? Is that a head? Are we putting in a right shoulder right now? This is also a red bar inside an RBI. One of the other strategies I like playing or watching for. Pulls back to the moving average. Breaks long. Right, I am going to call it a day because I've got a few jobs to do. I've got to sort my chickens out, and then I'm going to get ready to watch England in the World Cup in about an hour's time. So I will leave the stream on for a bit. I will turn it off in about half an hour. So if you want to keep an eye on the order flow, it's the same order flow running on the other stream I've got as well, NASDAQ and ES. Thank you 212. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully we get through to the round of 16. Should do, but then there's been lots of upsets in this World Cup already. Who would think Germany would be knocked out, eh? Holland as well. So I will be back tomorrow, 9 AM or 2 PM in the UK. Unfortunately, it's another red day for me. It's 2 red days in a row. I don't have many red days, so it's hard for me to take red days, but it is what it is. I don't really care. We just crack on and find some better opportunities tomorrow. Really tough reading the market today. You know, when we've got reducing volume, price increasing, order flow was looking like it wanted to sell off at one point, but there was not much to drive the price up. And could be just lack of volume in the market right now. Look at this big green candle engulfed by another red candle. Smaller volume candle as well, slightly larger candle than the red candle. So yeah, tough market, and so I would just tread carefully today, and I will be back tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, please, because that helps get the algos running, and I'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate everyone. Thank you for watching.